Hey guys, welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. I am outside because it actually ended up being a really nice day, and I'm going to be harvesting some seeds and kind of working in the garden just a little bit, but I wanted to show you how to harvest seeds, what I do, what has worked for me, and just kind of like my little seed collection that I got going on. This rosemary is doing really well. We got some rogue grass growing in there, but look at all that new growth. I mean, rosemary is perennial and it'll be just fine out here in the winter. I think this parsley is doing really well. It did not do so well over the summer, but it's doing great now, and so is this lemon thyme. This smells so good. I'm pretty sure this is perennial to be fine out here. Basil's gone. This was all kale and different lettuces this summer. Now this kale I planted out like in the beginning of the year, like early spring, and we've harvested from this the entire season and it is still growing. I mean, this is so prolific. Look at that stalk. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I have some little onions in here. I should probably pull out and harvest. Well, this arugula up here is looking really, really good. Now, we've had some nights get down into the teens, and this is still going strong. This is one of the only crops that I planted for like a fall planted crop that is still kind of thriving. Everything else is not doing so great. Then we got some weeds, some carrots that I forgot about. Let's pull one of these out. Oh my gosh! Look at that! Holy camole! I think I should probably harvest the rest of these carrots. Wow. These look so good. Holy cow! I am so impressed. So I tried to plant some brassicas back here for a fall crop, but I think the way the sun changes, these just didn't get enough light to fully mature. I think that might be spinach right there. As soon as I planted these, I think like a whistle pig or a rabbit or something got in here. Fall crop definitely didn't work so well. This is spinach right here. What I might try to do is dig up some of the things that kind of look a little promising. I might put them over here in this bed with the giant kales and build like a little hoop house. See if I can actually grow some food over the winter. Now this is dinosaur kale that something is definitely getting to. No, I don't know what, because I do have a fence around this garden that has that hardware cloth, that rabbit hutch mesh, and don't know what the heck is eating my stuff, but something is. Well, would you look at that? A rogue watermelon that is growing between the fence and the hardware cloth. Crap, I gotta get that out of there. So I have these sweet pea flowers trellised over this arbor right here. Now the crazy thing is I planted these sweet pea seeds like early spring. They kind of grew, kind of struggled through the summer, and then took off in the fall. So I think with the late growth, they didn't really develop a ton of seed pods. There weren't a ton of flowers on here, but I did get a ton of seed pods from ones that I had in little planters up front. So I'm just gonna collect the seed pods that I do see. Whoa, I got a couple seed pods. These are the really tall variety. Like all of this growth literally comes from like one little stem. This is what is growing everything. So in these two front containers right here, I have an arbor vitae, arborvitae, cypress tree, and then I'm pretty sure these are Canterbury bells. I mean, I'm not actually sure. I forgot. I think that they are Canterbury bells, and they don't bloom the first year. They just kind of grow some nice, almost like lamb's ear type of foliage, and then they bloom the second year. But all of this stuff that is dried is sweet alyssum. And this one over here was a mix of the purple and the white. So I'm just gonna see if I can collect some of these seeds. So I have a little cup. I'm just gonna sit down, just kind of like grab some dried areas. I have a ton of seed pods. I'll have to go in later and separate out like the seed casings. I mean, alyssum seeds, they're only like 99 cents a packet, and you get like, you know, 300 seeds. But when you have your own garden, it's nice to just save your own seeds and create a little heirloom garden for yourself. It's more efficient this way, more cost effective, and a little bit more satisfying, I think. Look at these snapdragons. I mean, they are still going strong. Look at all of that new growth. It's insane. I had no idea that these were like this hardy. but this is the seed pod that you want to collect. There's quite a few seeds in there, just like all down here. So I did a little cluster of purple sensation alliums right here, and some tulips, and then some hyacinths kind of in the front of there. Then along like closest to the fence, I did a ton of alliums and then tulips and then a few other little things kind of in between. So I just did a huge fall planted bulb unboxing. I'll link that up here down below if you want to see that. Alliums are, I think, deer and rodents like deterrents. So if I can have some like animal deterrents on the outside of my fence, then I'm going to do that. And then on the other side of the fence over here, I'm going to plant a whole bunch of garlic. Now, am I really too late to plant garlic? Maybe, I don't know. It's the beginning of December, but my ground is not frozen. But if I can plant a whole bunch of garlic right here, I think that would help, because over here I have a ton of my berry bushes, and rabbits and whistle pigs get to my raspberries and blackberries and all that kind of stuff before I can. So if I can just have a ton of like potent oniony garlicky smell, it might be able to keep some of these little pests away. The creek is coming back to life, you guys. It was so dry here in New York this summer. I think it only rained like 4 or 5 days. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, only 4 days the entire summer. This whole creek and pond dried up. There were only just some little tiny minnows that were flopping around in a little puddle. But I'm so happy that this is full again, because that was weird. One thing that I love about the winter is that there's so much more light. I mean, all of the leaves are gone, so the house is just flooded with sunlight. The light quality is just amazing, and I don't know, I love it. It's one of my favorite things that happens here on the farm. So something that made me really think this year, and I've noticed this before, weeds and how well they can mimic plants. Like the structure of the weed looks exactly like certain plants. So I have grapevines right behind me, and over here that I have trellised on this. It's an old twin mattress like frame, which it's rusty and it looks kind of cool. I like it for back here. But anyway, the grapevines are starting to trellis up here. And then there's another vine that looked just like a grapevine, but it had these like spiky balls. These like really spiky, pokey, prickery balls on them, and they hurt, but it's so crazy because it looked just like the grapevine. But it actually really made me think of how that can kind of translate into human behavior as well. I don't know, there's just so much that you can learn from gardening. It's not only fulfilling for your soul and grounding just to be outside and working in the earth and the ground, just connected to nature, but you learn so much if you actually listen. So I've learned a ton this year, and I'm super excited to garden next year. I'm already starting to plan out what I want in all of these different areas. This is one of the best things that I have done for myself. And if I didn't have this year, I might have gone a little bit crazy. One of my favorite things to do over the summer was to come out here early morning with a coffee and water the garden, and then also come out here late at night with a glass of wine or a book and just kind of sit and enjoy the little life that I'm growing right in front of me. If you have not had your own garden but you want to, highly 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you don't have space to have a garden, you can just have some pots on a windowsill in your kitchen. It doesn't have to be mass scale. You don't have to necessarily feed yourself or your family from it, but just growing even one little tiny succulent is rewarding. But if you do have land and you're thinking about growing food for yourself, definitely try it. You might fail. I failed at a couple different crops this year, and it's kind of, hurts your soul, hurts your pride a little bit, but you learn from it and you just move forward and you make it better the next time. Okay, that's my TED Talk. I want to show you guys how to harvest the marigolds and what to look for when you are harvesting any daisies. I mean, we are losing light. I mean, that's crazy. It's only like 3 o'clock and it's, pretty much nighttime. But I am definitely on the farmer schedule. I go to bed around 8 and I wake up at 4:30. Look at the moon. Wow. Wow, can you see the moon? But getting up at 4:30 is like actually kind of low-key amazing, and I kind of wish I could do that all year round. There's some sweet peas that I saved earlier this summer. These are some marigolds. We're gonna get a ton more marigolds today. These are some snapdragons. This is a Ford Hook blend. That's what these are right here. I think we can go collect some more outside around in the garden. Then I just like to put them in these little jars like this. You can see the tiny seeds at the very bottom. Now I could go through and break all of these up as like a nice little winter project. I don't have to do that right this moment. These are some more sweet pea seeds. Now I really like these jars that have like the holes on top because it lets them breathe and they don't get moldy this way. These are little Larkspur Pods. Again, you can see the tiny seeds at the very bottom. They look like poppy seeds, holes on the top. I think these are meant for spices, but they are perfect for storing seeds until you are ready to put them in little pouches like this. Now I just made these pouches out of some construction paper and tape. I also store seeds in little Ziploc baggies like this, and when I do that, I tend to write on the bag where I originally got the plant. So I originally got these white daisies from Home Depot in October of 2019. Then these are seeds in the bag right here that I've collected on March 6th. Now I have planted more daisy plants this summer from these seeds. So these are definitely good still, but we're gonna try to harvest some more white daisies. I don't think they're totally ready, but I'm gonna show you in a minute when to know if they are ready to harvest seeds or not. So these are dried cosmos flowers. Once you separate them out, you'll be able to start seeing the seeds, and then we can put them in a little baggie like this. These are some dried sunflowers. I have a whole bunch of dried sunflowers out in the summer kitchen outside that I will be showing you in just a second. I'll show you how to get some of those sunflower seeds out of there. These are the planters that I built earlier this year, and these have served me well. I kind of love these things. I will link that video above too if you want to see that. So these are marigolds, and these are all the little pods that have dried. So what I like to do is just kind of take them, put them in a little cup, and then I will get all the seeds out later. Now seeds are a really good thing to have because they're a great gift if you wanted to give them to your friends who like to garden. And you can also kind of use them as money in bartering. You can also get involved with like a local seed share group if your town has one. So these are my white daisies that they got like crazy leggy because I didn't know that you're supposed to kind of cut them back to the ground before they regrow again, but I don't mind it. Look at how pretty this little like fall winter foliage is on these things. It's so gorgeous. This is where all of the petals were on the outside. Now you have to wait till these are super duper dry. If you look on the inside and they still look a little bit green down in there, then they're not ready. I'm gonna leave these for like another week because I don't think these are totally ready. They're still a little bit moist, so we're not gonna collect any of these right now, but I just wanted to show you this is kind of what you need to look for. It was getting a wee bit chilly outside, so we are in the garage, and I just wanted to show you a couple more things. So here is a dried sunflower. Now the birds kind of got to a lot of the seeds already. Once you get like the kind of outer layer off, and then the seeds just kind of come right out. See that? Those are all seeds right there. These are all seeds. These will grow a million more sunflowers. Now I was so bummed because I grew these gigantic sunflowers over the summer. I will insert a clip here so you can see, but they were like 15 feet tall. They were stunning. And I saved them. I was trying to let them dry so I could collect seeds, and the freaking birds got to them before I could. And it literally happened in like a day, I swear to you. Look at all of those seeds. All of those seeds from one like small-ish sunflower head. So these are some radish seeds that I saved. Now I'm not sure if these are actually going to grow because you're supposed to let them totally dry on the plant first, but these were not totally dry, but I couldn't really wait any longer because I needed to put other plants in the space that these were in. I have some sunflowers hanging upside down, drying over here too. And then I have them grouped in different varieties for me so I can identify exactly what I'm growing later. Now let me show you how I make my little seed pouches. So I'm just gonna take a piece of construction paper, fold it up so there's kind of like a little lip at the very top. Then I'm gonna cut these about this width. You're just going to take some tape and tape up the sides. Make sure that they are fully sealed all the way to the bottom. Okay, now you got your little pouch with the little fold over at the top. I would definitely recommend keeping like a little garden notebook and keeping all of like the little plant tags that you have used. You can tape all of your little like seed packets in here and then write little notes. If something did well from you, if something didn't do really well for you, you can, you know, keep track of what happened. But this is the Cosmos right here that did really, really well for me. These are the seeds that I'm saving. So now that I know the kind of mix, you can write on here Cosmos, the seashell mixed colors. So then I can put all of my Cosmos seeds that are this variety right here in this little packet. So all these little dried seed heads, these are the flowers from these seeds right here. So once I kind of get all the seeds out and then pluck the seeds out from all of the little dried stuff, I can put those right into here and then fold them over, and then let me show you where I'm going to be storing all of these. So I have this little wooden wine box that I've been storing my seeds in for the previous season. So I will be keeping all of my seeds in here. So this is kind of why I made them this size. And to organize this a little bit further, I took another piece of, you could use cardboard or you could use construction paper like this. You can write veggies or however you want to divide up your seeds. Kind of place that in there like this. This system worked really well for me when I was starting my seeds indoors. I kind of lined up what needed to be started like 12 weeks beforehand, 8 to 10 weeks beforehand, 4 weeks, such and so on. And then back here are some extra seeds that I didn't plant all this year, but they'll still probably be good for next year. So those are back here. Then I can start to make all of my little kind of like seed pouches and then start to line them up in here. So this is the little system that I got going on for my seeds. Alright guys, that is it for today's episode of Vlogmas. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, bye.